What is he playing in Succession? He's cousin it.
Cousin Greg. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Cousin it's from Adam's family.
okay.
Cousins from Adam's family.
I missed that. I went over my head.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm stupid.
I'm
Why do you still have me on here?
I didn't know what I mean. I didn't know what it was. How is that a slight on you?
I guess that's true. Why are you still on here? I'm sorry. Yeah, dude, we had another venture in California.
Oh yeah, came and went way too quick. I feel like it was really
Yeah, no,
short.
100%.
You were only here for like 48 hours. I feel like, but it was a little more than that. But felt like really short.
Yeah, that was fun though.
It
We
was.
had a blast.
It was a good time. Yeah, we got to see Dave Grohl, our friend Dave Grohl.
We did get to see our good old friend Dave.
It was pretty interesting. I was talking to someone about it, and they had no idea who Dave Grohl was because they're a younger person. They're like, "I'm
Oh
19."
no.
They're like, "I'm 19. I don't know who Dave Grohl is." I'm like, "What?" And my age really started to show. I don't know. I feel like everyone knows who Dave Grohl is. If you don't know who Dave Grohl is, it's pretty weird to me.
Yeah, no, that was like one of the first times I was like super starstruck.
Yeah,
Like I didn't know what to do with myself.
yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, you've came to California before, but and San Francisco, which usually you can spot someone, but you
Well, I
I
mean,
had a
like we live in
feeling
Las Vegas. I mean, like, you know, like
there's some,
I've
yeah, there's
ran into some few
who have you
famous
ran into in
folks.
Vegas?
Carrot Top. Carrot Top and my dad worked with Wayne Newton. My dad worked with Wayne Newton and Chris Angel.
Chris Angel, okay.
And
Did you
all
ever
three of
see
those
Penn from Penn and Teller?
no, but my mom,
A lot of people I knew ran into
my
him all
mom
the
did.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom has some crazy. My mom and my dad have crazy stories about certain famous people, but yeah, no, Dave Grohl. Like, I mean, like the story is, which is it's honestly absolutely hilarious because it's like Elijah and I were at this music festival,
Hmm.
and he just kept on pointing at people and being like, "Oh man, that guy looks like this celebrity. That
Oh
person looks
yeah,
like
throughout the
this
whole
celebrity."
yeah, yeah, making
And we're
jokes.
standing in line for food, and he's like, "Dude, you know Foo Fighters?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, that guy's Dave Grohl," and I was like, "Ah, yeah." And I did like a double take. I was like, "That's fucking
that,
Dave
that
Grohl right
is
there."
Dave Grohl.
Yeah. And the
Mm.
craziest part about it was that he smokes Camel Crushes. To me, I think that's like the
I
craziest
didn't
part.
notice that.
Well, the only reason why is because Chris, our buddy Chris, who I talk about a lot,
Mhm.
shout out to Chris, he saw him pull out his cigarettes and he was like, "Oh, you should go over there and ask him for a lighter, but act like
Oh
you
yeah,
don't know who
don't
he
even know
is."
him. Like, thanks, bud.
Yeah, and then take his lighter afterwards. And at first I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this," but then I overthought it and I was like, "Nah, nah, nah, I
Can't do
can't
that
do
to the
that."
Dave Grohl.
The Dave Grohl. But the craziest thing about it though is that like that he smokes Camel Crushes and I smoke American Spirits.
Mhm.
I don't condone smoking to anybody, but like my pack is way more expensive than Dave Grohl's pack,
he
and
probably
that
he
guy makes
probably
millions.
yeah, he probably likes having the option in case someone needs a cigarette. He's like, well, I like menthol. He's like, well, these ones can turn into menthol. He's a man
Yeah,
of the people, probably.
I guess so. I'm basically saying that Dave Grohl's cheap as fuck, but you know.
There's a reason he has millions of dollars. He doesn't spend it all.
Yeah, he doesn't spend it all on fucking American Spirits.
Though, yeah, we went to a festival called Just Like Heaven, so that was a good weekend. There isn't too much to talk about. We just caught up with each other and hung out. Didn't do anything business related, which is about when I say business, I mean about the podcast. We didn't do an episode
Yeah,
or anything. We just all needed a weekend to get away, so it was a
yeah.
nice weekend to hang out.
We got a lot of stuff done in 3 days.
It seemed like yeah, it flew by though. That always
It
happens.
did.
So
It did.
next time we hang out, hopefully it's more than 3 days. Or it
Yes.
feels like more than
Yes.
3 days. I don't know. Because Sunday we just got brunch and we took you to the airport. So
Well, we went to the observatory though.
Oh yeah, we went to the Griffith
Yeah,
Observatory.
yeah, which
That's
was
true.
awesome.
Yeah,
Shout
that
out to La
was
La Land.
yeah, lots of science and space stuff. I felt smart for a day.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that was a good weekend.
Yeah,
I don't really have much to report on that because it was just a good weekend, I guess. No crazy stories except the Dave
no,
Grohl one, so that's good.
yeah.
So yeah, we're back doing another episode. What episode is it? 66? 66, the 66th episode.
Oh my God, look at
That's
us.
exciting. Yeah.
Look at us.
Well, let's get this started. Welcome to History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. Consider this your secret public movie club. We are a podcast that celebrates all things movies. We react to the latest industry news. We do movie reviews and discuss just about everything movies. We try to have new episodes. We try to have new episodes every week, but you can find us on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts, as well as a visual episode on YouTube. Hello. We are your hosts. I'm Elijah.
I'm Justin.
And if you happen to hear any snaps, crackles, or pops, or see anything visually disturbing during this episode, because we do our sessions through Zoom. We're happy you're here, though.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Before we get into movie news, Justin, I want to talk about some serious topics that were addressed to me earlier. But
Uh-oh.
did you hear that Rick Dalton died?
Rick Dalton.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character from the
Once upon a
actor.
time in Hollywood. Are you kidding me right
He
now?
officially died on May 19th, 2023. He was 90.
Oh my God.
He was 90 years old.
How
And
pretentious can you be where you kill off your own character from your own movie
in real life, yeah, that's Quentin.
in real life?
That's what Quentin did. Him on his podcast, the Video Archives podcast. Him and his co-host had a whole episode dedicated to Rick Dalton's legacy and all the
It's
movies.
honestly kind of pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
want to
crazy.
talk shit about it, but it's honestly kind of awesome. I wasn't a big fan of that movie.
I know, that's why I think it's so funny. But on May 19th, 2023, actor Rick Dalton passed away peacefully in his home in Honolulu, Hawaii. He is survived by his wife, Francesca. Dalton was beloved by fans of Bounty Law, where he played bounty hunter Jake Cahill for 5 seasons, and also for his iconic role as Eddie Karpinski, the flamethrower wielding vigilante in The Fireman Part 2, and The Fireman 3 CIA Crackdown. And he was so much more than that, with a career that spanned over 20 years, the podcast said. So there's that.
Hey, he's got it going on, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how in depth they went. Apparently, it says here that Dalton had a 4-picture deal that he was supposed to do Fireman 2, and he was going to be the director. He was going to try to direct it himself, but eventually those plans fell through, and his former stunt double, Cliff Booth, actually came on to direct the project. So good for Cliff Booth, who became a director.
Wow, he really went full on in depth about this.
Yeah, there's a lot. I haven't heard the podcast, but reading these articles made me really want to. They talked about the situation that happened to him in the late 60s, where 3 hippies were bursting into his house and they were tripping out and they had a gun on them, and his stunt double basically beat their brains in, and Rick set one of them on fire with a flamethrower that he used from the 14 Fists of McCluskey. Wow. Imagine being alive in that time.
I know, right? It's absolutely insane.
Wow. Cool. Apparently Quentin Tarantino said after that he got invited to like a Republican convention because it was this thing for the Nixon silent majority. Wow. But he's a lifelong Democrat, but he went and they fucking dug him, they said. Tarantino said. Rick was very happy being dug, but they put him on Johnny Carson after that, and he was a big hit on the Johnny Carson show. And then all of a sudden, because of notoriety, he started doing better TV shows. Wow! So after that, his what's it called? Career went uphill.
His star continued to rise.
Oh, he did a project called Land of the Giants, and he did a Green Hornet, and then he ended up doing Mission Impossible.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good for him. Good for Rick.
Rick Dalton. R.I.P. Rick.
Yeah, R.I.P. buddy. Oh, man.
I have a theory, though, that Rick Dalton's going to be mentioned in Quentin Tarantino's last project, I feel like.
Well, I mean, if
what
he's
I
gonna
mean,
put this much effort into
to a
this character's
backstory that no one
background,
sees. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy because none of that's in the book either of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that he wrote, because that ends around the same time that the movie ends. But this is like, I feel like he's going to talk about this. And since the movie's called The Movie Critic, I feel like it's going to be, he's somehow going to reflect on all the movies he's
yeah,
made in universe and have her
100%.
have the character be like, I didn't like this movie, or like say what happened to all the movies that impacted this film critic's life, which is probably all the movies Quentin Tarantino made in his career. So it's going to be pretty. That's my theory, anyways. That's why he gave Rick Dalton
Yeah.
an ending, because he's going to have
Well,
an
I
ending like Rick
know.
Dalton last or spent or survived for 90 years or something.
Yeah. Well, I know that Grindhouse or not Grindhouse, sorry. Death Proof is technically a movie within that universe.
Yeah,
So I don't think that they're like he's gonna talk about like Pulp Fiction, like Kill Bill and all. Oh, I think Kill
I
Bill
think
is
Kill Bill
also
is a movie in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But so I think it's gonna be like those three.
And then Once
Yeah,
Upon a Time
but
in Hollywood's
yeah,
just
Once
Rick
Upon a Time in
Dalton's
Hollywood,
career. I mean,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
might
yeah.
even show up for a cameo or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna if we didn't think that Quentin Tarantino is gonna suck his dick as much as he did for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the movie critic is gonna suck it till it's
Yeah, it's
dry.
his end game. He's gonna have everyone
It's
show
his
up.
end game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty
So
much.
there's that. I want to talk about Rick Dalton and his career and his legacy.
Rest in peace, baby.
90 years old. That's a good life.
That's a good life. That's
So
Betty White years right there.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's not quite Clint Eastwood, but it's Betty White.
No, somehow
Wait,
he's
no,
still
Betty White
pushing.
was 99, wasn't she? She was almost 100.
She
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
but
yeah. Okay, never mind. You're right. You're right.
yeah. I just wanted to just give her a shout
Give her a nice little shout out.
out.
Speaking of actors, though, Justin, I came upon this. This is pretty weird to me, and I want to know your opinion of it. But Vin Diesel, The Rock, and Jason Statham all have clauses in their contract that's not allowing them to lose any fights in their movies. How do you feel about that?
I'm not surprised.
Isn't that weird? How
It's definitely very weird, but I mean, like,
it makes you watch the movie so much differently now. You're like,
yeah,
any movie they're in, you're like, oh well, he's not going to lose this fight. There's going to be something
yeah,
technical that ends the fight, but he's not going to
right.
lose.
I mean, like, it's kind of like a given though, because they're the stars of the movie. You know,
Hey, look at Jackie
it's
Chan. He loses fights all the
he
time.
loses fights all the damn time. Look at Rocky Balboa. Damn, god damn it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised Sylvester still. Well, he's probably older now. He probably isn't fighting in movies anymore. Maybe he. I don't know. Yeah, he probably didn't have
Well,
that
no, he
clause
definitely had that clause too. He definitely was
later on. You think?
as the time went on, with him being like Rambo and shit. Yeah, no, he cannot lose the
No
fight.
way. No, he
But
lost. He lost. There's a whole. The whole first one is about him losing,
yeah,
and then there's a
I
part
mean,
two
I'm
where he
I'm
gets back.
talking like after
Once he's
like
just like, yeah, I guess
yeah
so.
after Rocky and after like the first two Rockies and after
What, like in Kindergarten Cop, he's not allowed to lose a fight? What do you mean? Like what
that's Arnold
movies? That's
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I messed it up. No, I
But
messed
no,
it
no, no, no.
up.
I mean, like, what does that even mean? Like, they can't lose a fight like at all, like in any scene of the movie. Like, they
Yeah,
have to win every single one. Okay,
yeah.
that's stupid.
Or
Okay,
something happens where the fight gets ended and they technically don't lose, but the circumstance ends. Like the fight just ends.
right. I mean, look at Tom Cruise. He still can lose a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Does he
Yeah.
actually?
I don't know. I feel like he'd be one of those people that has it in the clause too, or in his
uh,
contract. That clause.
I feel like that's a silly thing to do, but I mean, like,
Why do you think they would do that? Do you think it's like it's got to be an ego thing
oh,
where
one
it's
hundred
just like
percent.
people
It's
got to
one
take
hundred
me
percent ego
serious?
driven.
But
Yeah,
it's like
it's ego driven, especially
so
for
weird.
those kinds of like actors, like with the let's call them the bald trio.
Who's the best
Like,
bald guy out of all of those? I
oh
think Jason Statham's
shit,
pretty cool.
I think Jason Statham. I will say, I think I think
I
he
was
takes
surprised. Yeah, I was
the
surprised when he
most
was in that
risks.
category. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I think he's like a modern day Jean Claude Van Damme, where he's like,
Yeah,
he's a good action star. He's not the
yeah.
best actor, but he does the job.
He can deliver when it's really good.
Mhm.
Like Jean Claude Van Damme, he had a really good movie
Yeah,
where he
he had a
played
couple.
himself,
Oh
and
yeah, you were
that was
talking about
solid.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a solid one. I feel like if Jason Statham had a movie like that, like him and Guy Ritchie obviously love each
Hmm.
other.
Yeah.
I feel like one day Guy Ritchie's gonna make a movie, like write a role for him. We're not even gonna recognize him.
Yeah.
I believe that in him, but is he gonna lose the fight in the movie? Who knows?
Yeah. Imagine he does a movie where he doesn't even fight. That would be weird.
Ooh, that would be weird,
It's been
but
a while.
also very interesting.
Try it. Try it out,
You know
Jason.
what? I feel like the three of them should like do like a three men and the baby.
The remake, just
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
That'd be
No
interesting.
fighting, nothing like that. It's just them taking care of a freaking baby.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
And yet the baby has more hair than they do.
Yeah, it's got like three more hairs than them.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's a crazy clause. I can't
That
imagine
is a
that.
crazy clause. That's stupid.
They got to learn from Jackie Chan. And who else loses in
Yeah.
fights? Who else fights a lot? It's hard to think of action
Yeah, it
stars
is
now.
hard to think
Tom
about
Cruise
that.
is a good one. I think he's
Tom
lost
Cruise,
before, right?
yeah. I mean, like Tom Cruise has lost some fights
I think.
in some of those Mission Impossible movies,
I
but
think.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, like all of them kind of blend into each other.
It's very hard to remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't believe
yeah.
I mixed up Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey, you know what? You're not the only one, man.
Happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us.
All right. Yeah, those are the two topics I wanted to talk about before we got into movie news because yeah, that seemed relevant, I guess.
Hey,
Be with the times.
we're trying.
um, let's see. So let's get into some exciting movie news. Justin, do you want to know what else we're talking about today?
100%,
We're going
Elijah.
to be talking about some dating show movies,
Oh,
which oh, okay.
oh.
uh
Did you like how I put my hands together for that one? Oh,
yeah,
dating shows.
we're going to be talking more about Dave Bautista because we recently came
Love
to the
that.
conclusion that he is a good actor. So we have some
Yeah.
projects from him. And we're talking about Eddie Murphy and Zach Creger.
Okay. Okay.
We're
Okay.
gonna
Zach
start.
Creger.
We're gonna start with Zach Kreger, who is
Love that.
notorious for his movie that came out called Barbarian, which
Yeah.
broke records, and he's
Mm-hmm.
also from The Whitest Kids You Know, which I
Yeah.
did not know until you told me that when we were
Yeah.
reviewing Barbarian, and I was like,
Rest
wow,
in peace, Trevor Moore.
yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come out with aren't they doing like an animated movie about them going to Mars or something?
I'm not sure. I haven't really been following them.
I think they're
Barbarian
trying.
was a shocker to me. Like I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Like until you and I were talking about, I had no idea that was him. Until
yeah.
you know.
I didn't either. And then you told me, I was like, wow. But yeah,
Yeah.
he came out of
Yeah.
nowhere with Barbarian and
Yeah.
it broke records and it was a crazy horror film, which we have a review on it and you should check that out. But
You should
if you haven't
definitely.
seen Barbarian, go into it as blind as you can
100%.
because it's a great Justin Long performance. It's a great horror movie and it's just a thrill ride.
Thrill ride.
But
What is Zach Kreger up to now?
he is finally after the success of Barbarian, a lot of studios were trying to get on this bidding war of his next project, which is still a horror movie. And New Line Cinema won, so they're releasing him his next project, and they're giving him full creative control of it again because they trust him so much from Barbarian. This movie is called Weapons, which is a very interesting title. I don't know if it's going to stick to being called Weapons, but it's called Weapons. And it finally, I was waiting until it had some sort of cast attached, and now it does. But before I tell you who's in it, it's being compared to what is it called? Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia
Oh wow.
from 1999 because of
Yeah.
how big the story is and how many storylines there are and how many actors are in it and all that stuff.
Huh.
Apparently, Zach Kreger is making his own horror version of that type of movie called Weapons,
Okay.
which is interesting. Sources are saying that it's described as a multi and interrelated story horror epic centered around witchcraft and missing children. And they have two actors attached and one rumored attached. It has Pedro Pascal is officially boarded the project as one of the characters because he is blowing up now because of The Mandalorian and The Last of Us.
Mhm.
But he kind of phones it in with the Mandalorian. I found out.
But also he was in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, that was a really good role for him. That was
Yeah.
I forget that was probably his last like theatrical release movie, huh? I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of TV since then, or not a lot, just those two shows. But that's a lot
Yeah.
because those were airing at the same time. They both blew up. But The Mandalorian is so bad now, and
Yeah.
I think I've said that before, but it is
Yeah.
like he phones it in too. He doesn't even show up to set. He just does a voiceover work now, and he
No, well, I
talked
mean,
to.
like he's in everything now. I mean, like yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah, he's all over the internet too. Like people love him now. I mean, he was
yeah.
big. He was in Game of Thrones, which really took his career, like got him recognized. But he's only in it briefly. So,
Hmm.
but this movie sounds interesting. Yeah, it has Pedro Pascal, and then the other actress is from the. Did you ever see The Worst Person in the World?
I have not. I really want to
I really
though.
wanted to because I've heard some really, really good things about it, and I still have
Yeah.
yet to see it. But the star of that movie, her name is, I might mess this up, Renate Rensby. She
Mm.
is attached as well, which is an interesting choice. I don't know
Was
what this
she
movie.
the star
Yeah, she was
of
the lead. She's the
Nice?
lead of it.
Yeah, I
So,
still want to see that one.
so those two are attached already, and it was also rumored that Kate was it Kate Mara or Rooney Mara? They're sisters.
Rooney Mara. Or wait.
Yeah, there's Kate Mara and Rooney Mara. They're sisters, and they're both in the industry. Kate
Interesting.
Mara is in the House of Cards. Rooney Mara is in the remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it is though.
One of the Maras.
Yeah, one of the Maras is rumored to be in it, but she might not. I think the lead of The Worst Person in the World might have taken her role instead. So
Ah,
because I couldn't see any other related uh, news stories about it. But yeah, Zach Creggers making a multi-story horror epic. They're saying
interesting.
weapons about witchcraft and children missing. I didn't know it was about witchcraft and children missing. That's a little scary.
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting
Follow up
pitch.
pitch, yeah, yeah. But it was a big deal when he was selling it to people because a lot of studios were trying to get their hands on it, and I'm glad that whoever got it, it was New Line Cinema got it. It's going to be a theatrical release, and they're giving him full creative control,
Fuck
which
yeah.
doesn't happen very often with
Nope.
directors who have only made one movie.
Yeah.
But that's what
Especially
happened.
with their first movie being Miss March.
Oh, they didn't direct that, did they? Oh,
They
did
did.
they? Okay,
Oh
this
yeah,
is
him and
this
Trevor.
is then it's his third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Okay.
is his first like solo effort
Yeah,
back.
it's not a Wise Kids, production.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. I'm excited for that because Zach Kreger is on my list of must watch now because
100%.
Barbarian was a great solo project.
Yeah.
Blew me
Amazing.
away. Saw that
Yeah.
with the family, which was pretty
I
weird.
still can't believe you did
I know we didn't
that.
know what to expect. That was the
Yeah.
best part of it. But we all walked out, including my dad. He was like, "That was strange," but like
Yeah.
he wasn't saying in a bad way. I was like,
Yeah.
"Nice, that's great. That's a crazy movie."
It was one of the only movies that I watched where everybody that was in the theater just sat there and watched the credits completely
Yeah,
silent,
you
just
just
being like, what the fuck was
yeah,
that?
everyone asking, "Are you okay?" That was
Yeah.
pretty. That was an experience for all of us.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
you ride a
We were,
really scary roller coaster after saying
yeah.
it's not that bad, and then you're like, "Holy crap, that was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
intense."
We all experienced that together.
Yeah, in the best way. So yeah,
Even though
watch
I'm never going to
Barbarian.
remember your name, I'm not going to remember your face. We're always going to remember this moment together.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So next, we're talking about some dating shows. We're going to be a little bit lighter, but not super light because these projects actually sound pretty interesting. It's weird that these two projects were announced pretty close to each other, and because they're both about dating shows, but they both have like their own stories kind of about it. This first one is called The One, and
Mm.
it stars Riley Coig. I don't know how to say that name. I think that's Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley
Mm.
Coig something. You might recognize her. What else is she in? I forget. She's in
Sounds very familiar.
I think she's in a TV show called like the something's in this like Daisy. It's like some music show from Scott Newsetter from what's it called? 500 Days of Summer. It was like a book adaptation on Amazon.
Huh.
Sorry, I don't remember, but if you have a visual episode, you can see her on the screen.
Right there. Right there.
And yeah, and
Uh-huh.
it also has Nicholas Holt,
Uh,
Melissa Barrera, because we know how much we like her,
uh-huh.
and Lana Condor from uh, what is that movie? What is that series on Netflix? That romance series. I think there's two of them. To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know that series on
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah,
So it stars those four people, and it follows Melissa Barrera's character, who's made a last-ditch effort to find love by becoming a contestant on a reality dating show. Now down to just herself and two other women competing to win the heart of Mason, played by Nicholas Holt, Taylor begins to feel the artifice of the show fade, and the game becomes terrifyingly real amidst the opulent beachfront setting, fairy tale dates, and ever flowing champagne. Pursuit turns into obsession, and rivalry turns into treachery as reality
yeah.
itself blurs.
Okay.
Dang. Okay,
Cool.
so there's that. That I don't know when that's coming out. It's I like the cast, and
Yeah.
I think it could be interesting. Maybe if people start dying, who knows? I always think people are going
Yeah.
to die when Melissa Barrera is in a project.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that sounds very interesting.
it could just be like a big old drama too about I don't know, but a movie
I
about a
hope it
reality
doesn't
dating
take
show.
itself too seriously. With the with
I
the with the premise like that, I hope that it just has fun with it.
Yeah, I hope it has some sort of spin and it's not just like
Yeah.
watching a reality show where it's like, oh, is she
Yeah.
actually gonna get the guy? Or I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Nicholas Holt has something about him that he could just go any direction. Like he could be a terrible, terrible man. You find out or something.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
right now too, he's like taking a very self-aware route. Like where he's like
mhm.
he's taking the performance seriously, but everything around him is ridiculous, which is very, very it's good.
Yeah,
That's the way you want to do it with these kind of premises.
yeah.
Premises?
Premise.
Premisi? I don't know. I don't know. How do you
um,
pluralize that? Oh shit. Cut it. Cut it. We're done.
cut it.
I quit. No
But
more.
yeah, this attracted me because of the cast, and like I said, I think I don't remember which episode it was, but I said Nicholas Holt would be a great Superman. He's been doing a lot, and then when we were hanging out, it was actually leaked or rumored that he is joining the Superman universe, which is pretty wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's they say he's either going to play Lex Luthor or Superman. He's in the running for both of those roles, which is pretty interesting to me.
Interesting.
But like,
I
I think
can't
that's pretty
imagine
cool.
him bald.
He was bald in Mad Max.
Oh yeah, he
He's
was in
kind of
Mad Max.
unrecognizable in Mad Max though, because
I
he's
totally
got a bunch
forgot
of
he was in Mad
scars and stuff.
Max.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whoa. What the
I
fuck?
think that's what they were referring to him. That's what they referred to when they were talking about him playing a Lex Luthor, which I think is pretty weird. But yeah, that's pretty exciting news that that might actually come to fruition because that was one of the fan casting things that I talked to you about weeks ago, even months ago, or April, right after I saw Renfield. I think we talked about it because I was like,
Yeah.
he'd be a great Superman. You're like, what? Like,
Yeah,
no.
no, I talked a lot. I talked a lot of shit about Nicholas Holt for a second, and
Yeah.
I regret it now after seeing the menu. I haven't seen Renfield yet, but especially after seeing the menu, I was just like, ah, shit. Okay,
Yeah,
he's
he
pretty
did. He
good.
can kind of break the mold a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I hope you see Renfield soon. It's pretty. I
And
liked
also
him.
now, just you saying that he was in Mad Max, I totally fucking forgot about that, and I knew
Yeah,
exactly the role that he played.
he's really really unrecognizable in that movie
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's got
yeah,
like
yeah,
the scars on his face. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oof.
yeah,
Good for
hopefully,
him.
yeah,
Good for
good for
Nicholas
him.
Holt.
Because I talked about it. I think on the last episode, he missed out on Mission Impossible. He missed out on the Batman, and he missed out on Top Gun. So like all the studios want him to be like a leading franchise guy.
Hmm.
So
And
they're finally
he's not taking them. That's pretty
he
cool.
hasn't been able to because he's been working on TV. He's been
No, let's
working
just
on
say
the
he's not taking them. Come on.
scheduling issues. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's an indie guy.
He's an indie guy. Indie guy. Indie boy.
so there's that. That movie is called The One.
The
Um,
one.
this
Okay.
next dating show movie is called Hot Mess. This one
Oh,
seems
jeez.
like it's going to be a little goofy. This is probably what we didn't want the first one to be, but this is what it is. It's called Hot Mess, starring Emma
Amy's
Roberts.
humor. Okay.
Emma Roberts, yeah. But it's coming from the director of who's done AP Bio episodes and some episodes of the new CBS show Ghosts. Her name's Katie Locke O'Brien, if anyone knows. Uh, not to offend her, but I didn't know. I don't follow TV directors. um, the official synopsis reads as this. After imploding in the worst way possible on a widely popular American dating show, Laurel Mack, played by Roberts, must do the ultimate walk of shame back to her hometown. Having failed to win love on the show, Laurel finds herself living in her quirky parents' basement without any friends, consistently bumping into the miserable ex the whole town adores and experiencing the constant mockery of all who witnessed her public meltdown. She embarks on a hilarious and heartfelt journey of self-discovery and with that, real connections with others. It sounds like it might be like a Netflix movie.
It 100% sounds like a
One that
Netflix movie,
you
but
could easily miss out on.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it takes place during Christmas either.
right.
There's something about it.
Doesn't sound once again doesn't sound too. You've picked some stories right now that I haven't. I don't really have room to talk shit about them.
Right. I
Like
mean,
that doesn't sound too bad.
it sounds like a hot mess.
It
But
sounds like a hot mess.
no, it has some I think it has
Some potential.
some potential. Thank you. That's the word.
Some
Potential.
potential.
But I was gonna ask, who do you think would be a good opposite to? I mean, obviously she's probably gonna fall for the ex again,
Yeah.
because they're mentioned in the synopsis, the ex that the whole town loves, but he's miserable.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a good opposite Emma Roberts to be the miserable ex who the whole town adores?
Well, like going with Emma Roberts acting talents, I would say a white sheet of paper. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was a low blow. I don't know. Fucking who's that one guy?
From that one thing?
No, he's on Succession.
Nicholas
Braun.
Braun? That'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd be
let's
good.
go with him. Let's go with
All
him.
right. What
From
if we
Minutemen.
Yeah.
Check out our Minutemen.
Revisited
Our Minutemen.
from like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I said it.
Yeah, Nicholas
No,
Braun.
no,
That's
but
good.
genuinely, I think that he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that he would be like a good
Opposite.
quirky best friend.
Yeah, he's just the miserable ex. I wonder what that means. I guess, but everyone loves him.
Hey, ain't that all of us?
So yeah, that one's called Hot Mess. I think Nicholas Braun is actually a really good choice. I was gonna try to think of someone, but I think Nicholas Braun would be a really, really strong choice because he's a lovable dork now, I guess.
And I mean, like, he's a lovable dork. He's likable. He's lovable. He's likable. He's a dork.
Yeah,
How many more times can we say it? What is he playing in Succession? He's cousin
Greg. But yeah. Oh,
cousin, it's from Adam's Family.
Okay.
Cousins from Adam's Family.
I missed that. I went over my head.
I'm stupid. Why do you still have me on here?
I didn't know what I didn't know what it was. How is that a slight on you?
I guess that's true. Why are you still on?
Why are you doing this? So there's two movies about dating shows. So one, I guess they could both be good. Well,
yeah, no, I mean, like they both of them have really good potential, but both of them could also fail.
Yeah,
like a motherfucker. Yeah.
I mean, having
like, Elijah's
that type
the
of
optimist.
cast,
I'm the cynic, and right now I'm trying to be optimistic about both of them. They sound really fun.
I can tell you're really trying. Your body's just like vibrating. You're like, oh, I could see it.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of works.
Listen, I think that's a really good idea.
So this next project is pretty. I don't know how to feel about it. I never really thought about it. I don't think about it, but Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is doing a movie.
Oh,
He's in talks, it says, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
hmm.
Um, he's in talks to star in a new Pink Panther movie
Oh no.
from the Sonic the Hedgehog director Jeff Fowler.
Oh, okay.
And what did you think about the other? Have you seen the original Pink
Oh
Panthers
yeah.
with Peter Sellers? I have not. It's
Oh
Peter
yeah. My
Sellers, right?
Yeah, Peter Sellers, Blake Edwards. My dad loved those movies. He had especially Shot of the
Blake
Dark.
Edwards is wait, what did Blake Edwards do with those?
He directed all of them.
Directed them? Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Good old Blake Edwards. Breakfast at Tiffany's, baby. Let's forget about Mickey Rooney's yellow face and just move on from that. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
If you go into any white girl's apartment in New York, you're gonna see Audrey Hepburn on her wall.
Mhm.
But no, yeah, no. Pink Panther is absolutely amazing. Peter Sellers killed it. But I will say I am an apologist for at least the first Pink Panther movie with Steve Martin, because that's what
Mhm.
we actually grew up with.
Yeah.
And even my dad, who grew up with the Peter Sellers ones, just he loved that first Pink Panther. It's
Mhm.
impossible not. I'm sorry, it's impossible not to laugh at that movie.
Mhm. It's good.
And let's just forget Steve Martin's horrible French accent. But hey, you know what? It's all about the funnies. But
Hamburger.
Eddie Murphy doing it though? Is he? Are they telling? Or is Hollywood Reporter trying? Do you see me almost
Who's
breaking
that?
my fucking voice right now? Is Hollywood Reporter saying that he's going to play Jacques Clouseau?
Yeah, he would star as Inspector Clouseau.
Okay, let's all just calm down here. No, no. I think that's a horrible idea. But uh, what do we know?
It's
All that
really
shit.
interesting how the Pink Panthers legacy came about because originally, the movie talks about the bumbling Inspector Clouseau, who first in the first film involved a jewel called the Pink Panther, but was it a movie or a TV show? Because they had like an intro that had a cartoon panther in
Well,
the
yeah.
beginning,
So
which became like the like
the
the
icon,
icon of it, even
yeah,
though there's not even actually a Pink Panther in the movie like that. You would
yeah.
think it would be like a little like imaginary friend
So
type of
it's
situation, but
it's the diamond
yeah, it's the
that they're
actual
trying to
diamond.
get. So the first Pink Panther movie, Blake Edwards did, and if you watch the first Pink Panther, Peter Sellers and Jacques Clouseau is a supporting character,
Mhm.
and he was such a standout that they decided to do a whole movie just surrounded by him, and that's why A Shot in the Dark, which is the second and official like first Pink Panther movie, it's not called a Pink Panther or the Pink Panther because they just wanted to, Blake Edwards and him just wanted to do a movie with that character again. But
Mhm.
then of course the studio and Blake Edwards were just like, you know what, let's just keep going. And then just the Revenge of the Pink Panther and Trail of the Pink Panther,
So
and
wait, was it a TV show at one point then
it
too? Was
was
a cartoon?
yeah.
And
It expanded. It was
was
a
the TV
crazy
show
phenomenon.
about the actual Pink Panther trying to
Yeah.
rob things?
Well, so it was about like it was kind of it was weird, but yeah, like it was like the Pink Panther just going on day by day, and the little cartoon Jacques Clouseau trying to catch him. But
Hmm.
it was yeah, no, it was a bunch of like Bugs Bunny type of shenanigans.
Okay, because it seems like with this new project with Eddie Murphy that they're trying to lean into that aspect because they said it's going to be a hybrid live action CG
Stop it!
movie.
No, no,
So
no.
they're definitely going to try to integrate a actual Pink Panther into the show like the cartoon
Oh,
was. It
Lordy.
seems like
Okay. Well, you know what?
so that makes it a
This
little
this
bit different.
you want to know something, Elijah? This episode was fun.
I enjoyed our time. So yeah, it
Yeah,
seems
I
like
don't know
Eddie.
how I feel about that. I
Eddie.
genuinely don't know how I feel about that though. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know
see,
which direction it could go.
especially with live action hybrid
Yeah,
thing.
I
Like
don't
I
see the
think that's
necessity of doing that because
no. That's just that's just stupid.
but that's
Because
also
the
because I
only
didn't know it was
reason
an animated project. I thought it was just an intro thing.
Yeah, no, it was. It is.
Oh.
It's just. I mean, like the animated series, of course. Like it's just MGM, just just trying to make
Market
a
to kids and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
make a few bucks off of that thing. But yeah, no, it's just the intro and the posters that really the Pink Panther was.
Which
But
is interesting. Which is an interesting way to
yeah.
promote the movie. It's like, what if you made Mission Impossible and there was like an animated character that represented the mission the whole
I
time?
mean the match. The match is basically the
Well, the match doesn't have a face and stuff.
but I mean like
Imagine if it
that's
did.
the imagine if it fucking did. Tom
It,
Cruise just
totally
running
different
after the
legacy.
match.
Yeah, trying to get the catch that flame.
Yeah. Stop catching things on fire.
Okay, so there's that. How
Let's
do I
move on.
transition?
Yeah.
So we're talking about two Dave Bautista projects now, and I'm going to ask you which one you're more excited about because he is now out of he's out of his Marvel contract, I believe. So he's going to have to renew it if he ever wants to do another project with them, if that's possible. If you've ever seen the new one, you can come up with your own theories of how he could come back. With that's not spoiling anything. I'm trying to keep it ambiguous. But yeah, the Last Guardians movie is a really good send off to a trilogy. So that's how I'll say that. Yeah, storylines and etc.'s come to a nice conclusion, I'll say. So Dave Bautista is now not a part of Marvel, I think based on contracts, but he has two new projects coming out, which I think is going to be very exciting because he's not having to put things aside because of his movies. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Marvel is not holding him anymore. So let's talk about Dave Bautista's new movies. This one is called Cooler. This one's called Cooler. In Cooler, this is the synopsis. In Cooler, South Beach bouncer Ray Sagona, who's played by Bautista, is on the brink of finding redemption and getting his family back. But when a drug-filled safe is stolen from the super club where he works, Ray is blackmailed into finding it before the Miami Police Department Narcotics Bureau comes to retrieve it on Sunday night. Now, as his past and present collide in ever more dangerous ways, Ray must survive an epic 36 hours odyssey across Miami Beach to get that safe back. One final Herculean, oh my God, Herculean, I don't know how to say that word.
I believe in you.
Task on his journey towards absolution.
Wow.
That's a hard word. Herculean. I know I'm just trying to make it like Hercules. Like, I'll just say Hercules. Like,
yeah, no, you did better than I could ever do.
Herculean. I can't say that.
Herculean. This sounds like I'm gonna name my kid that.
Herculean.
I'm gonna do it like this. Herculean, get over here, Dad.
What do you want to name a kid? Herculean.
Wait, no, this one's even better. Herculean, Dad. I just have a bunch of sunglasses right
here. Yeah, you have like 6, all different characters.
I don't want to talk about it. They're just here. Yeah, no, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it could be good. It's a nice action movie. I mean, he's playing a character who needs redemption, so it could be a good character action piece. It's very hard to find good character pieces about action.
Yeah.
But I think if anyone could do it, Dave could do it.
I was just gonna say that if anyone could do it, Dave could do it. Not our Dave,
not Dave Grohl, not Dave Grohl.
Our Dave. It's that Dave. Marvel's Dave.
Formerly known as Marvel's. Yeah.
Yeah, formerly known as Marvel. It's a My Spies Dave.
Yeah, he's still in that series. For sure.
Yeah. Blade Runner 2049's Dave.
Ooh. Yeah, there we go. So let's see.
Where did that reference come out? It came out of these.
Hey, do you know who Drew Pearce is? He's the guy making this movie. He's directing and writing it. Have you ever heard that name? You probably have.
Kind of sounds familiar.
Maybe you probably know his project. He's also producing The Fall Guy, that Ryan Gosling movie that we talked about, where he plays a stuntman.
Okay.
He's producing that, but from writing and directing standpoint, he has done. I
love that. I love that.
I now see what he's done.
That is amazing. I love that.
So he hasn't done too much directing.
Absolutely love it.
He hasn't done too much directing, but his writing is he did Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw,
Oh, great.
which
Good
is
stuff.
okay. It's
Yeah, yeah,
probably a
good
hiring
stuff. Good
job.
stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
He came up with the story for Rogue Nation of Mission Impossible. He wrote,
Okay.
did he direct it too? Did he direct this? Do you remember the movie Hotel Artemis? It had like Charlie Day and Jodie Foster and
Oh,
Dave
whoa. Yeah,
Bautista.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa,
That movie
whoa,
was supposed to be like really good. The way like it looked really cool, but the movie itself was like
whoa.
okay.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that shit was boring as hell.
it was pretty
I don't even
boring.
remember it.
Exactly. And I was like, oh wow, Hotel Artemis. I
Because it
remember
kind of
being
seemed
really
like it
excited
was
about
like
it.
the hospital of the universe of John Wick, but it
Yeah.
just was lame.
And maybe if I rewatched it and went into it knowing that it's a slower type of action movie, kind of,
Yeah.
but like I had really high expectations because of the cast and because of the visuals.
Uh-huh.
And I think it is a really stylish movie, but there's just like Jeff Goldblum, like the cast is crazy for
Yeah, the
Hotel
cast is
Artemis.
insane.
Jodie Foster, Dave Bautista, Sterling K. Brown, Jeff Goldblum, Brian Tyree Henry, Zachary Quinto, Charlie Day, Jenny Slate.
Good Lord.
And if you guys like music, the guy Father John Misty, Josh Tillman is in it. Like there's a
Oh,
yeah, it's like a lot of random people in
that's
that. And
insane.
so I had a lot of so he did that. He wrote and directed that, Drew Pierce,
Okay.
which has
Yeah.
some promise with
Yeah. Yeah,
visuals.
yeah, yeah. He's got
Um,
some directing promise at least.
and then he also wrote the screenplay for Iron Man 3, which apparently is the worst one. But he
Ah,
also
yeah.
he was one of the writers for the Fall Guy too. Um,
Okay.
so there's
Okay.
that. But he didn't. I don't think he. Wait, is he writing this movie? I think he is writing this movie. Yeah, he's writing and directing this one. So he's got some good visuals with action. We'll see how he does with the actual story because I think his writing is his weakest point at this point.
Yeah.
But there's that. It's called Cooler, starring Dave Bautista, who they work
Uh,
together on Hotel Artemis. So there's some
cool,
hope.
cool.
There's some hope.
There's some hope. There's some hope.
One more Dave Bautista project.
Yes.
This one is pretty interesting. Did you ever see Netflix's Day Shift?
Oh, the fucking Jamie Foxx movie.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx
Oh
vampire movie.
yeah, that was
I remember
awful.
you
I
saying you didn't like it.
I hated it.
What
I
was it
hated
about
it.
that you didn't like, the script or the directing or both?
It was all of it. It was just the it's just one of those Netflix movies where it's just like nobody was there to like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's like a father-daughter movie. Like I can't remember too much of it, but I remember it was like a father-daughter movie, then it's like a him and Dave Franco, like a buddy cop movie,
Yeah, I remember
then a
when you were talking
vampire
about it, it just
movie.
made me not
It's
want to see it. Snoop Dogg's randomly in it.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is randomly in it.
I'm not,
You are
he's not even
correct
like in
there.
a little part too. Like he's in a big part of it, isn't he? Like he's a
Yeah,
bigger
yeah, yeah,
character.
yeah. It's a pretty cringeworthy movie. It's
Hmm.
pretty awful. It's like one of those Netflix movies where it's like, yeah, no, that's a Netflix movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that guy is making his second movie. It's his
that's
second
that's the
directorial
dude
project.
doing the next Dave Bautista movie.
Yeah, and this guy is he's one of those people who started as stunts and went into movie directing, which a lot of people are doing now. Like the director of what's that Chris Hemsworth movie, Extraction, which I would recommend to people.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah, yeah.
Netflix. That one's really good. That one's coming out with a sequel, which also looks pretty good. But the directing in those movies is awesome. Like you don't really care about. It's a pretty simple story of a guy getting a kid out of this like war zone area or something. It's
Uh-huh.
about an extraction, and
Yeah.
so it's a pretty straightforward movie. But the visuals are awesome, and he's one of the I don't remember his name right now, but he's one of the directors who went from stunts to directing in a good way, just like
Yeah. Also David Leach. Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
Chad Stilinski, I think his name
Yeah.
is, who are both a part of the Matrix stunts team. They both started making their own movies too.
Yeah.
So
John
this,
Wick and
yeah, this guy is also the same situation, but his stunts I feel like are not he's just is recently doing stunts still. Like he did the stunts for Avatar Way of Water, which I don't know
interesting.
where those stunts come in. He did stunt coordinating for F9, the Fast Saga. He's done a lot of stuff. He's still doing a lot of stuff, like all
He's
of
doing a
the
lot of CGI work.
yeah. He's just the coordinator who's like, "What if you guys did this?" and doesn't do
Yeah.
them himself anymore because he's probably
Right.
older, maybe I don't know. But his next movie is he started with Day Shift. This next one is called The Killer's Game, starring Dave Bautista from Lionsgate. So it's probably going to be a theatrical release. Lionsgate did the John Wick movies, but this one's an action comedy.
Mm.
and it's based on a novel called The Killer's Game, which follows veteran assassin Joe Flood, who is diagnosed with a life-threatening illness and authorizes a kill on himself to avoid the pain that is destined to follow. After ordering the kill, he finds out that he was misdiagnosed and must then fend off the army of former colleagues trying to kill him. So it's basically Queen Latifah's The Last Holiday meets John Wick.
That's
Because that's the whole premise of The Last Holiday, where she thinks she's dying. Spoiler alert! And the doctors give her a thing and said, "Oh, we gave you the wrong diagnosis." After she just
The
spent all
Last
of her money.
Holiday.
Yeah,
You did not just fucking just say The Last Holiday.
meets John Wick. That's
Meets
what it is.
John Wick. That's amazing. I think Queen Latifah forgot that she did that movie.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean,
That wasn't a bad movie.
I never saw it. I never needed to.
I never saw it.
I never needed to because it was explained to me after people I knew saw it, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
That sounds like a terror." Like maybe they didn't explain it well, but they were like, she gets diagnosed that she's gonna die, so she's like, "I'm gonna spend all my money and go on a last holiday," and then she finds out she's not dying, but she still spent all of her money on her last holiday. So it's like, how does she recover from that? Do they explain how she recovers from that?
I can't remember. I haven't
I
seen
don't
it in so
remember.
long. But that's just hilarious. Like you just like brought up a core memory.
Yeah. Memory
I remember
unlocked.
seeing that. I remember getting that movie from a Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That big ass red dress.
So yeah, he's got two spectrums of action. He's got the serious and then the comedy. Because The Killer's Game is technically a comedy. They said comedy action.
Hey, you know what? I'm with it. I think that Dave Bautista can really do it all at this point.
Yeah.
Besides My Spy. But I mean, like, hey, everybody's got to try to be Dwayne Johnson every once in a while.
Yeah, they got to try it. I mean, do you think? Oh yeah, I did. I was gonna say, does Dwayne Johnson have a clause? But he's The Rock. I forgot. I totally thought of them as different people, but that's what I said. The Rock is one of them.
I'm sure Dave Bautista is definitely one of those guys. Like, yeah, kick my ass.
Yeah, he lost the fight in
I'll
James
win
Bond.
at the end.
Didn't he lose the fight in James Bond?
I forgot that he was in James Bond. Honestly, he did lose the fight in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, he dies, doesn't he? Yeah,
he dies. Yeah, he
dies. That's losing.
Homeboy dies.
That's a pretty big L.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Guess what? He dies in Glass Onion too. Spoiler alert.
Whoa. You gotta say spoiler alert before.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Came out like 7 months ago.
Dave Bautista dies in Glass Onion. And Edward Norton is the killer. Yeah. I don't care anymore. It's water in here, I swear.
And Leonardo DiCaprio dies in Titanic.
Oh, dude, come on, bro.
I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ. Low blow. Low blow.
Well,
the old guy, the guy that's dead on the floor in Saw is actually Jigsaw.
That one guy.
He the dude. If you watch Seven, it's Kevin Spacey the entire time.
So that's all the movie news we have. Between I'm just gonna ask you about the Dave Bautista projects. Which one are you more excited about? Killer or The Killer's Game or Cooler?
Cooler sounds a lot cooler.
Really? I thought you were gonna say The Killer's Game. Oh yeah, but you don't like that director that's doing The Killer's Game. Put a bad taste in your mouth from the get-go.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Cooler sounds like a more like I just like those really out there ideas because it just you don't know if it's going to be good or not.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the same thing with the other one, but the guy already proved that he can do. I don't know.
I like the title.
I don't fucking know anything.
I like the title.
Guys. I got sunglasses here. I don't know anything anymore. I got a glass right here. I got a microphone. I'm just trying.
Whoa, who are you, dude? Carrot Top? Get all those.
I wish I would be a lot more muscular right now.
That is not a natural man, though.
That is not a natural man. Seeing that man face to face, that man is fucking
face to face, whatever you call that.
Yeah, face to plastic. It's definitely
face to carrot.
Face to carrot. The carrot to the top,
So that's,
I would say that.
But then, out of all the projects, which one are you most excited for? Weapons, the one. Hot Mess, Pink Panther, Cooler, or the Killer's Game?
Weapons.
Weapons, of
Yeah,
course. I
weapons.
had to
Yeah.
start off strong with something that
Yeah.
we've been waiting for because Zach
Honestly,
Creggers is on
this
our
was yeah,
to-do list.
this was the best one where I feel like I was the most positive as I could be. Usually I'm
Yeah.
just a fucking downer, guys.
Yeah. I mean, most like because out of all of these, we only have one like not adaptation, but like one remake thing, and that's Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Everything else is somewhat original in their own way. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Killer's Game is based on a book, but that doesn't really count. I feel like for when you're adapting things, like I just like remakes and stuff are kind of harder to grasp because it's like they already made that into a movie, you know.
Yeah.
So this one is a pretty original episode, I think.
Yeah, dude.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is coming out on Friday.
Oh my god.
So I'm just like, I need to make. I'm trying to make an event out of this for my life because it's a highly anticipated sequel, and I'm hearing that it's better than the first somehow. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm very excited for that one for Spider-Man into this or Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm definitely gonna try to see that one in the theater because I saw the Into the Spider-Verse in theaters, and I did not expect anything from that, and I literally cried.
You and I talked about it. We talk about it a lot, but like it felt like seeing a Spider-Man movie for the first time ever. It was like there's those feelings of like, what is this? What am I watching?
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
And it's a groundbreaking animation too that took on Puss in Boots and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie too.
Yeah, they really lean into the aesthetic of comic books, which is sweet.
Yeah, that's the way it needs to go.
So yeah, there's that. That's what we're looking forward to. What are you guys looking forward to? Let us know what you're watching. Let us know what we should be watching, and tell your friends about us. Listen to us. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Audible if you like books and podcasts. What else? What else is there? Amazon Music. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we will be there. Let us know.
Yeah.
That's our episode. We're glad you guys are here. Check out our Popcorn Bites on YouTube if you like little segments and you can't commit to a whole episode. But if you're at the end of this episode, you did a pretty good job.
You did a great job. Fantastic job.
But yeah, that's it. I don't have an outro ever.
I love your outros.
Good. I'm just like saying goodbye.
All right. No, that's it.
Do you want to say anything? Do you want to say a good and proper goodbye?
Yeah, no, I got you. That was cool. Sweet. Adios.